Oh man, I didn't put out on the rights to this music. Let me turn it down before I get kicked off. Hey everybody. My hands are always ashy at the beginning of these live videos. Oh my gosh, I'm literally.
You struggling right there?
I am struggling.
So let me just be your cameraman.
I'm gonna give people a second to join. Shut up.
Yeah, all right, look at them.
Alrighty, we got our guests. How's everybody's day going? Don't mind my craziness and all of that this morning.
Like that.
They definitely can.
You don't know my voice.
Hey mom, you always come in and join the live. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Hey Miss Marion, how are you? How's your day going? We're waiting to add Donna in. Let's see what's going on. I actually did my job and I wasn't okay.
You pick that up?
I did my. This isn't sponsored. I do not need that much.
Bro, you gonna wipe it on my hands?
Hello.
Hey, Donna, she made it on.
Yeah, I'm struggling to figure out how to work this thing because this is my first time going live. So, but I'm happy to be here. Okay.
How's your day going?
It's going all right. I'm out of town for the holidays, so I've been spending a lot of time with my sister. I'm in DC, so
it's
awesome. Going pretty well.
I hear DC is the place to be.
Yeah, it's pretty cool out here. All right, I think my camera's a little crooked, but whatever.
It looks good. Great, I love the hair.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So we're just giving people a few more seconds to join. But what's up, everybody? It is Friday. Everybody, you know what that means. We are exposing amazing, and we have an amazing individual joining us today, and we also have a surprise guest. You want to join the camera, sir?
I don't know.
Come on.
Hi.
What's up,
homie?
It's
Darren, everybody.
What's up, Darren?
Exposing amazing. Can we like fit in the camera together? Is this
kind of?
All right, we're gonna squeeze in here and make this work. So, every Friday we expose amazing. We invite someone who we feel is amazing to join us in a Facebook Live conversation, just to kind of get an idea of who they are and what they're doing to make the world a better place. So, I think we're pretty good. We got things. We're pretty good, and we are ready to start. So, I won't introduce you, Donna. I'll allow you to do that by answering our first question. Who is Donna? Who is Donna Lewis?
Who is Donna? Well, I think that's me. Well, my name is Donna Lewis, and I am a college student at Alverno College. I'm a freshman, majoring in business accounting with a minor in sociology. Donna, I would describe myself, that's weird, I'm saying my name, but I would describe myself as a very ambitious, self-driven individual. I think I'm pretty well-rounded, multidimensional. I do many things, at least I push myself or challenge myself to do many things, like taking on leadership, trying new things as like public speaking, and just various, I don't know, but I have a lot of interests that range from like music to politics and definitely social justice. That would be one of the main things that I could describe my passion as. I constantly find myself taking part of organizations that focuses on social issues in school and out of school. Whether that's like myself becoming passionate about a particular issue and gathering people to work with me to help, discuss some solutions and act upon them. Some at school would be Black Student Alliance, of course. You would know that, Imani, because we're there together on that. Another would be the Youth Empowered in the Struggle, which is a social organization that focuses on immigration issues throughout the nation. And that's something that I've really become giving all what's been going on and, with the new president and just in general with the policies and I'd say laws that has been kind of ruined for those communities. I have really, it's definitely bothered me like it should for anyone living in the U.S. So I feel like I'm rambling constantly, but
you're perfectly fine. And that's the things that really intrigued me about you and made me want to invite you on the show, because I just saw your passion and drive about wanting to see justice and wanting to see an equitable society for young adults and just young people and just our community in general. And so that really inspired me. Like, people need to hear her perspective and her thoughts on things.
Yes.
So thank you so much. So everybody who's joining, we have Donna Lewis, and she's been kind of sharing with us who she is. And if Donna, also, if you want to share this really quick, I don't know if you see the button on your phone to share it so that people who are in your neighborhood get a tune in.
Yeah, I'll press that and I'll just, should I click share to group or?
It should allow you to share it on your profile.
Okay.
I just want to make sure to do that.
I posted it. It's there.
Cool. So our next question is, what do you have to offer the world? What do you offer the world by being Donna Lewis?
Wow, that's a really big question, and I really I've just never this is very different for me because in general I don't know, I don't really I'm that type of person who don't really talk about my accomplishments or, abilities much. I let other people admire that and I accept it and, have gratitude. But what do I have to offer the world? I'm still on a self-exploration trip, and I think I will be for the remainder of my life. But I can only speak from the present. And I can say that what I want people to remember, if this, Lord forbid, but if my life were to, be only of 18 years old as it is now, I would want people to not remember me for my accomplishments, recognitions, or awards, but from the impact or lives that I changed through the actions that I made. And thus far, I feel like I, have really, speaking from in high school, I have been able to inspire my peers to, reach their full potential, to reach for success and just dream big. Because ever since I've realized the importance of education and, following those who inspire me, people in my life that God has placed, I have been reaching for, the best that I possibly can, because I know my past and I know that I'm the only one that could, I'm the only one who could do it for myself. No one could do it for me. So I just really want the impact that my positive energy, the influence that I have on others to really hold value in those who I touch. So that's what I
Awesome.
want. And, yeah.
You are truly, truly phenomenal. We're just moving closer to an outlet because shame on me, I didn't make sure my phone was charged all the way before we got started. But, all right, we're good to go now. So my next question for you is, what is one thing that you want the world to know? So outside of who you want, or outside of what you offer the world, what are some things that you just want the world to know? Like, you leave a legacy or whatever it is that you do with your life, what message do you want to send to the world?
Yes, that's a very good question. I really appreciate that. I would really want the world to know that success is not limited unless you make it for yourself. So I'm speaking from a personal experience, things that's happened in my childhood, in my family, and just within myself. If that's self-doubt, if that's, not having, you know, the normal, typical support that, or like family support that, you know, a person, the average person would have. I've come to realize that I can't, you know, I can't hold that, I can't allow that to hold me down and back from moving forward. And like particularly youth, because that's like my passion with social justice. Living in Milwaukee, I see like, you know, I was once in a place where I was in a closed box and I didn't have, you know, big dreams. I didn't have that exposure because I didn't allow myself to. So I just really want those who are suffering adversity, if they're a child, if they're an adult, that you can overcome that situation and you can succeed. It's one thing to overcome it, but you don't have to live up to the expectations or, you know, result in what society would normally expect for someone in particular, you know, circumstances, whether it be a pregnant teen or, you know, someone who's lost a loved one, a parent. It's really hard to move on, you know, from, you know, especially losing a loved one, or it's definitely, it costs 10 times the work to, you know, get on your feet and succeed if you became pregnant while you're a teen, or any situation. Like, you have obstacles in life, but you can hurdle those. You can do it at every turn. So you just have to have that drive, that motivation, that, you know, acceptance of your history, but also using that to motivate you and others around you. And that's exactly what I've done.
That's a wonderful point. We have to accept our reality and use that to drive us. And that was so well put. I definitely agree with. And so these segments are really quick. I have one last question, but before I ask my last question, I want to give the audience a chance to ask any questions that they may have. So while everybody who's watching, while I'm asking this last question, if you can think of anything that you may want to ask, anything, you can write those down in the comments. So another question that I have, Donna, which happens to be the last one: what makes Donna amazing?
What makes me amazing? This one, I'm just gonna wing this one because it's going back to how I let other people, you know, admire and kind of, you know, give the compliments, and I accept it. But I've never really, you know, thought of it in that way of what really makes me amazing. But like, I think what allows me to give such strong messages is just reflecting on my past and how I've grown from that. And just, I would say having the ability to bounce back, having resilience. And I noticed that, like, if it's in a big situation, if it's a big challenge or a small challenge, I always notice that before this is like I don't know, but it's just something about whenever I have an important event, whether if it's an important interview, if it's a project, a speech, whatever, and I'm like really focused and I don't want anything to happen that will, you know, prevent me from doing the best that I can. But I always notice that something comes up that would try to distract me from, you know, doing my best as I intend to. So I always have to, you know, problem solve, or I like have like a breakdown, or like it's just crazy before I end up going in and doing it, and I like kill it. I execute it, whatever it may be. And I hope like that I'm not, you know, jinxing anything, or like for my future events or endeavors. But I just noticed that I know I'm like changing up, but I think God does that for a reason. Like, he allows things he does it to test me, to see if I would be able to execute it, and to teach me a lesson. And it brings out the better in me when I'm able to overcome and bounce back from particular challenges, or, you know, anything that would prevent me from doing my best. So I think that's one thing that I can say that makes me amazing in the quote unquote. Also, just being the positive person that I am. Like, I get random messages from people from time to time just saying, like, thank you. It catches me like off guard. And I'm like, wow, I don't really know. Sometimes I don't really know that my actions, like, it's good, but I just don't know the impact that it has on someone until they tell me. And I just reflect back and I thank God for giving me that trait, giving me that ability to make someone feel inspired and, motivated just by my presence and positivity that I add into their lives. And I think that's important for everyone to have some type of positivity like you. Every day I look forward to seeing those inspiring quotes that gets my day started. So yeah, I think
Thank you.
having that light, spreading it into someone's life. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was going to say as a follow-up to what you said. It's so important for us to, those of us who God did choose to be that light in the lives of so many people, we have to allow that light to shine in spaces where people may feel dark. And I see you do that constantly around campus. You're just always that light. Like, even when I may not be having the best day, and I just see you, when you were at the Black Student Alliance table, and I was just like having such a long day, but I was able to slow down my day and put it into perspective, and you just exuded so much positivity, and like I appreciate you for that. And if you don't mind, can I ask a follow-up question to what I just asked?
Sure.
Because you talked about you being resilient. Have you always been this resilient, or were there some things that you had experienced that got you to a point where you had to, like resiliency was like your only way?
No, I definitely can't say that I've always been resilient, that I've been able to bounce back. I would just use like where I was heading towards earlier in the conversation, when I realized kind of like I like made a 360 turn. I'd say that was probably in my junior year of school, when I did not, notice or value education. I did not see, myself as I am pursuing, like, I'm on the journey to like my purpose and my, career or, just success. But I have not always been able to bounce back and continue to like reach the goal that I was trying to reach. And I think that was part of not having the like just the understanding that like this is not forever, because there was a no here doesn't mean that you're not, you have to stop here, you have to give up, you have to stop trying. So once I was able to, definitely, like I would say my sister, she's a very important figure in my life, and she's helped me to develop and enhance and, become my own self, realize, certain things for me to, continue to develop. And I would say that because of, her being, I look at her as a mentor, and other people in my life, other mentors in Milwaukee, one being Khalil Coleman. I'm not sure if you know him, but he's very positive. Yeah, he was, he came to my school to do some workshops in my African American Achievers. And I like just God added those people in my life to help me develop into my own person, and also, be able to keep me motivated in times that I feel down or not the best. That everyone has those moments, but just that's how I've been able to bounce back. That's how I've been able to develop resilience. But definitely I can't say I've always I didn't even know what it was until not too long ago. But definitely it's important to have.
For sure. Your resiliency has definitely gotten you far. And I just want to encourage people in the comments as you're watching, if you have any questions, you ask now so that we can get those before we end up having to end this segment. Yeah. So if you want to ask any questions. Make sure you ask those below. Donna, do you have anything else that you want to add as we begin to wrap up? Sure.
Hi KK. I see my friend KK is watching. I just want to say like thank you so much for doing this. Like I was just looking at like your page and like just everything you do, and like there's something great already what you are, but even greater in store for you. And I think we just need more. We need more of this, and I really appreciate that despite the quantity or people like it's gonna come. And I just really appreciate that you do this. You spread every like positivity, positivity into everyone's life that you're around. So thank you so much for being you. I'm so glad that I met you this year. Yeah, and I definitely hope that.
I appreciate you just as equally. Like all these things that you feel like, I feel like you've been that positive person in my life as well. You encouraged me. Like when I started doing the study groups, like you were really consistent and you continued to come, and then you reminded me of the impact that it was having. And so those are the things that keep me going. So I appreciate you equally. I think Darren had a question for you.
Hi,
I do. Hey, homie.
What up?
You kind of, can you talk about a little bit about like the relationship between your major and your goals as it relates to organizing? You talked a little bit about that. We had a conversation about that, and I really would love for you to enlighten the world.
Okay, so I'll start with accounting. All right. So accounting, I was not interested in until maybe about 4 months ago, like right before I enrolled into my freshman semester. So what got me on the path of like accounting and business in general was a program that I did in high school called the Young Entrepreneurial Scholars. And I started that in, what's that?
I did, yes, too.
Oh, no way. We got to talk about that. So I did, yes, my junior year. And I obtained a internship at Northwestern Mutual the following after the 2-week residential program. And I still, after that internship, 6-week, I still was not like interested in accounting, even though it was to get you exposed to, many fields and professions in the business world. But following my senior year, I was still in the Yes Seniors program, going to the meetings. Have you heard of NABA? I'm pretty sure you have. Yeah, so I'm now a member of NABA, and we were able to go to the NABA Central Student Regional Conference that they had last year. Really, it's only for college students. And to let you know what NABA is, Imani, it's the National Association of Black Accountants, and it's an organization that's designed for college students who's majoring in business professions and specifically accounting. And it's the same thing for the YES program, while it's more focused definitely on high school students, and it's to nurture and retain them and to retain their interest in those fields. So when they go on to college, they have that support and already have early preliminary knowledge on those professions. So last fall we were able to go to the conference, and it was just so big. Like I've never ever been to something like that before. It was so many different, and mind you, these are like, it was just amazing the fact that it was like full of like just Black people, not only Black people, but like I've just never been at an event where there was so many like Black people there for like a positive, or not just positive, but just like, just in the professional world. I just never seen it before. And it was amazing. And you were able to network, you were able to do mock interviews, and attend different workshops, whether if it's leveraging professions in business or a panel where like a lot of the successful professionals are sharing their stories and how they got there. So after that conference, I started to like become more interested in accounting, but it didn't quite like register that this is what I wanted to do until the following year, which was this past fall. I was able to go to the NABA conference as a college student. And
Wow.
there, it was basically the same thing as it was last year, but because I was eligible to interview for real, for like a real internship, and just network again and experience it all over again, I was like able to speak to some really good people who gave me some very good insight on what you could do with these professions, specifically accounting, tying, as I'm answering like your question now, like tying my passion for like social justice and youth. I want to someday like definitely be an entrepreneur, but have my own organization that focuses on troubled youth or the disadvantaged people in my community. So I'm still like planning and garnering all what I want to provide in that organization one day, but I'm planning, and I know that it's going to be big. So that's what I want to do with my how I combine those two together. And with accounting, like you can do anything with that. You can almost find any job with an accounting's degree, even if you don't get your CPA. I do want to get my CPA because it's like you go through all of that schooling, and like that's like going to law school and not taking the bar test. So I'm really hoping that as I'm talking now, like I absolutely have my mind made up, which is so funny because if I turn back and look at this in 5 years and I'm somewhere else, I'm going to be like, oh gosh, what was I talking about? But if that does happen, I just hope that my purpose, this is the path that I'm taking that will lead me to that place if it is different. But as of now, I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do. But I'm finding so many different things that I really like, and it's spiking my interest. Like law is really starting to become interesting, and I was looking at how I could combine maybe a CPA with a law degree. It is possible, even though that's like, man, that's a ball game. But I'll continue to talk to people, go to conferences to, just have that knowledge for myself, and I'll be able to be directed into the path that I am destined for.
And it's really important to embrace the experience, especially the journey because I just switched my major, and I had to learn to be okay with that, that even though that wasn't what I wanted to do initially, that experience was worthwhile and helped cultivate who I am today based on those experiences that I had. So be comfortable with change and don't be too set in your ways. But it sounds like you have it figured out. But I want you to remember that it doesn't the way you expect it to. Be proud of the experience along the way.
Yes, and that's while you just said that. I want to focus on. I know this is it ties into this, but it's one of the things that I want to do for next year is being present in the moment. Like my mind is always like, what am I going to be like in 10 years? What am I going to be like, in a year, that I'm forgetting to, just take a deep breath and indulge in what is right in front of me. So I want to do that because if you continue to stress yourself out on your future, you're going to stress yourself out for real, and you won't enjoy, like life goes by quick when you do that. So I hope anything along this journey that out of anything, that I am being present in the moment, and I also think that could distract you from other opportunities and things that you should be paying attention to if you're not being like giving the attention that the present should have, let them just alone. So hi, Keyshawn.
We'll definitely miss out on life worrying too much about the future.
Yes.
Darren and I were literally just talking about that yesterday. Yeah. So that's really important. But Donna, I just want to thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
Thank you.
Exposing amazing. I have Donna Lewis on today. For those of you who may have missed the beginning, she is a phenomenal person. I would encourage you to go back and watch it from the beginning to kind of see some of the things that we got a chance to talk about. So we're gonna wrap it up. If Donna, is there anything else you want to add before we close out?
I think that's about it. I just know that both of you guys have as you say this to me, it's reversed right back. Your futures are great. Darren, you're going to be the next Black president, and Mani, you are going to be the next world CEO. Like I'm betting on it. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and
You're so welcome.
more than happy to do this again.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'd love to have you as a special surprise guest like Darren did today. So we'll definitely be keeping in touch. And thank you, everybody, for joining Exposing Amazing today. If you're just joining, go back and watch it from the beginning. It was definitely amazing today.
Yes.
Thank you, Donna, for
Thank you.
hanging out with me. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Everyone have
checking
a peaceful
out